시에라 마드라의 원정을 마치고 나온 당시 라디오에서는 타 지역의 원정을 가는 방송이 나오고 있었으며 그 원정에는 일손이 부족해 부인을 한다는 내용이었습니다. 새로운 모험을 기다리는 걸 거부할 이유가 없기에 당신은 그 원정대에 합류하기로 마음을 먹습니다. 도착한 행복한 여정의 원정대에 직결지.
Heard my little broadcast, did you? Yeah, you look the type. Hang on. Ain't you the one that wiped out the Crimson Caravan's Vegas branch not too long ago? Ought to thank you for that. Knocking McLafferty out of the running gives Happy Trails a market to expand into. Well, it ain't good, I'll tell you that. It's not like the Mojave or the NCR. Hell, even Arizona under Caesar is safer. You got raiders all over the damn place. Tribes of degenerates that'll eat you as soon as look at you. Regional warlords, the works. Not too many decent places to stop and trade. New Canaan's one of the only ones left I know about. They're about what you'd expect. Crazy, jacked up on chems, violent as hell, and not too bright. The worst of the 80s. But we won't be passing through their turf on this run. That's right. The folks that lived in Zion before the war, they didn't just get a little savage. They're downright feral. Most of them don't even speak English anymore. You've got to get yourself a new Canaanite translator to talk to them. The ones you really gotta watch out for are the Whitelegs from the Great Salt Lake. They'll attack just about anyone that ain't one of theirs. Dangerous enough we won't be going near them if we can help it. I got no desire for my head to decorate some little gas station fort's walls, thanks. The job is simple. Help us get this caravan into Zion and find New Canaan. The pay is 25 caps per day. Half up front, half on return. You'll get a bonus if we make it into Zion. Plus another bonus if we reach New Canaan. Oh, one more thing. Don't mention the name Joshua Graham to anyone. Anyone. Just don't. It makes the New Canaanites powerful uncomfortable, and it scares the britches off the tribals. Don't talk about the burn man either while you're at it. Trust me on this one. It's for your own good. Are you now? You know we ain't coming back this way for a good long while now, right? And you know about the weight limit. I don't want no whining about old Mr. Masterson. I left my one-of-a-kind plasma cannon back at base. Can we go back for it? You sure you're... Well, all right then. Let's get moving. We got a long road ahead of us. The paths we're following are slow going, so you might as well keep your ears open and listen to what old Jed has to say. A few decades back, folks in the NCR started to hear about a community in northern Utah called New Canaan. Didn't know much about them, except that they were religious folks, sent out missionaries to talk to the tribes. We've seen our share of cults, but the New Canaanites, they were honest traders. Good fighters, too. Raiders wouldn't tangle with them. But then, the Legion appeared in Arizona. I reckon you know all about them. Turns out Caesar's first war chief, the Malpace Legate, was a New Canaanite, Joshua Graham. Legend goes that Graham was the meanest, toughest son of a bitch in the whole damn Legion. The New Canaanites wouldn't talk about him. They were ashamed. Guess I can't blame them. Well, at Hoover Dam, the Malpace Legate finally met his match. Hanlon and Oliver kicked his New Canaanite butt right back over the river. Caesar had to make an example for the others, to show them that even at the highest level, failure wouldn't be tolerated. He had Graham covered in pitch, lit on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. People say he didn't even scream on the way down. Not long after, some of the slaves and tribals started to talk. Said Graham wasn't dead, shouldn't have been any surprise. All this talk bothered Caesar, so he forbade anyone from speaking his name. Wanted to erase Joshua Graham from history. He got his wish. Joshua Graham disappeared, and in his place came legends of the burned man walking the wastes. Probably just a tribal ghost story. But New Canaan's been silent for a long time. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe the Malpace legate is dead. Or maybe Joshua Graham did crawl out of that canyon and finally found his way back home.
드디어 도착한 목적지. 이곳은 한눈에 봐도 자연이 잘 보존되어 있는 것 같았습니다.
Ain't the trail ahead worries me, Jed. Those descents we made through that slot canyon back up there. Ain't no way we're getting back out the way we come. And then what?
God damn it, Stella heard you the first time. And the 15th, too. The new Canaanites will know a way. And if they don't, we've got the maps on our friend's Pip-Boy over there. Enough lollygagging. Get moving. And keep an eye out for tribals.
Sorry to bother you with reality, old Jed. Who cares if we can't get back out the way we come? That's not a problem.
Shh. Hold on now. I swear I heard something up ahead. God damn it!
그때 원정대는 정체 모를 집단에게 습격을 받습니다. 상황은 종료되었으나 모든 동료가 죽고 돌아가는 길은 막혔고 원래 가야 할 목적지 또한 모르는 상황. 그렇기에 어쩔 수 없이 일단 앞으로 전진을 하게 됐는데 이때 자신을 공격하는 괴한을 처리해주는 정체 모를 사람이 등장하는데
Hoi, white legs don't leave survivors often. You're some kind of lucky, let me tell you. You came from outside, didn't you? From the civilized lands. Wow. Joshua will want to hear about this. Joshua Graham. He leads our tribe. Thanks to him, the dead horses are strong.
이자는
and safe
어째서인지
from our enemies.
제드가
He'll
언급하지
want
말라고
to talk to
장부한
anyone coming up
조슈아
from
그레이엄이라는
Southways.
이름은
Guess that means
서슴없이
just
말하고
you now.
있었습니다.
Come, I can take you to him. Good sists. We head east then. Joshua is at our tribe's camp in the Eastern Virgin.
그렇게 당신은 분필 자국을 따라와 함께 조슈아에게로 향하는데
Hold up. See that?
Hoi. Auslander Zuka Joshua Graham. Auslander Utman Zuka Joshua Graham. You look for Joshua Graham. He in high place of cave. You show respect, Auslander. Joshua is greatest warrior. You show him no respect. He show you thunder and fire. You
이
wise,
죽음말
Auslander.
부족원들은 조슈아를 위대한 전사로 섬기는 듯 했습니다.
We should have given you a better welcome on your first
드디어
visit to
만난
Zion.
불탄
From
남자
what I hear,
조슈아
the White
그레이엄.
Legs beat us to it.
조슈아 그레이엄. 그는 과거 카이사르의 군단에 소속된 군단장이었습니다. 카이사르의 군단에 들어가게 되자 그의 이름은 말파이스로 새롭게 바뀌었으며 군단장이라는 고위 직책인 그는 제1차 후버댐 전투의 지휘관이었으나 전투가 우세로 이어지던 지저의 군단은 승리에 가까워졌으나 작전을 지휘하던 군단장이 NCR의 매복에 당했고 군단은 결과적으로 참패. 이에 시전은 본보기로 병력을 지휘하던 말파이스를 처형. 그 방법은 다른 병사들의 집단 쿠타 후 홍진을 발라 불을 붙이고 꼭 아래로 던져버리는 것이었습니다. 하지만 그는 불길에 휩싸이며 협곡으로 떨어졌지만 살아남았습니다. 그리고 버려졌던 말파이스는 다시 조슈아 그레임으로 돌아왔습니다. 이곳에 대해 아는 정보가 없었기에 이 알 수 없는 곳을 빠져나가기 위해서 대화를 통해 정보를 알아내야 했습니다.
And you're a courier, no less. Not the one I was expecting, but I suppose he wouldn't have come with a caravan. I don't know if you were close to the other members of your group, but you have my sympathy. I pray for the safety of
어째서인지
all good people who come to
시저의
Zion,
군단 출신치고는
even Gentiles.
말하는 게 품격이
We
있었으며
can't expect God to do
신에
all the
대한
work.
신념 또한 일반인 수준 이상인 것이 느껴졌습니다.
The dead horses are capable scouts. Nothing passes into or out of Zion without my hearing of it. Happy trails. I remember. They were good friends. I heard
원래
bad
제도의
news
목적지인
from your
뉴
employers.
가나안은 파괴가
Canaan was
되었으며
destroyed. Its
그
citizens
원인은
scattered.
하얀 달의 부족이었습니다.
All because of the White Legs. And Caesar, of course. The White Legs
하얀 달의
want to join
부족은
the Legion.
시저의 군단에 들어가고 싶어 했고 시저는 전 군단장의 생사가 거슬렸기에 그들을 이용해 학살을 조건으로 내걸었습니다.
The good news is that we can help you
조슈아는
find
당신을
your way
되돌아가게
back.
모을 수 있는
Daniel,
능력이
the other
있었습니다.
new Canaanites, has made many maps of the region. The bad news is that we can't help you right now, not with everything that's going on.
다시 모압이 황무지로 돌아가기 위해선 조슈아를 먼저 도와야 했기에
We all
당신은
go
그의
through
요구를
periods of
듣기로
darkness.
합니다.
In such times we can turn to the Lord, but it's good to have friends. Daniel and I need pre-war tools to help us navigate beyond Zion.
조슈아는 부족원들이
Should we
도피하게
need
될
to
때
evacuate,
필요한
these
전쟁 전
instruments will be
도구의
vital
수집을
to us.
요구합니다.
Normally, we would have some of the dead horses or sorrows look for them. But many pre-war buildings in the valley are taboo. They won't go inside. We are responsible for leading and protecting the sorrows and dead horses. They are smart people, but not as worldly as you or I. I am preparing the
조슈아는
dead
전쟁을
horses
준비하고
for war.
있으며 다니엘은 전쟁이 아닌 다른 준비를 하고 있다는 조슈아.
Thank you. Follow Chalk can help you find your way around the valley. He's inexperienced, but he knows enough of our language to ignore the taboos about pre-war buildings. Welcome back. What can I do for you? Caesar would never admit this openly, but he knows that I'm alive. I've killed enough of his Frumentari and assassins that have come looking. I've heard one of them travels the Mojave as a courier. Most of Caesar's agents meet a fitting end in NCR territory, but maybe this one survived.
사실 배달부는 오기 전에
I
시저를
have to
죽였기에
admit,
그
it's
소식을
hard to believe
조슈아에게 전해주는데
that even after all he did to me, all he tried to do to find and erase me from this world, he went first.
쉽게
No
믿지는
doubt this will
못하나
be good for the
시저의
Mojave.
죽음은
I can
모압에게
only
좋은
hope Arizona and the
일이다 라고 합니다.
tribes don't suffer as the Legion falls apart around them. Good. You're doing God's work, whether you believe it or not. I wouldn't say that. I am the acting war chief for the Dead Horses. They look up to me for such matters, but I only have the authority they give me. Daniel is the spiritual leader and main link of the new Canaanites to the Sorrows. He's up in the Narrows right now. A great deal. There are 4 tribes here in Zion. You've already met the Whitelegs on the way in. In this camp, you'll find dead horses. In the Narrows, the Sorrows. And finally, there's Daniel and myself. We're new Canaanites. They attack everyone who isn't a Whiteleg.
행복한 여정
especially
캐러밴을
caravans.
습격한 이유는 그저 그들은
They don't know
약탈로만
how to
생활했기
survive on their
때문이었습니다.
own, so they have to raid. God be with
그렇게
you.
당신은 조슈아의 요구를 행하기 위해 움직이기 시작하는데 우선 조슈아의 요구대로 분필 자국 따라와 함께 전쟁 전 물품을 구해야
See
했습니다.
this? This is why your own 2 feet are better than any cart. Whether it's pulled by critters or goes on its own.
물품을 구하는 데 예상치 못한 포지션도 있었습니다.
Why do you carry all those bottle caps anyway? For as long as I remember, the dead horses have thought that places of the old world.
그렇게 모든 물품을 구해 다니엘에게 전해주러 가는데
You are the one Joshua Graham sent to us. Blessings of the Father in the cave on you. Daniel is waiting for you. Waking Cloud is my name. I am midwife to the sorrows. It sounds ill omen, no? Midwife to sorrows. The children and the old have already been evacuated from the camp. They are safe enough, unless the Whitelegs come for us in force. I tend to other hurts and sicknesses that afflict our tribe. I also scout the valley for the herbs I use in my medicines. Daniel is a wise man and a great friend to the Sorrows. He taught me to speak the language of New Canaan, the English from the holy books. Yes, the language of the New Canaanites is the holy tongue, for it is the language their sacred books are written in. The Father in the caves brought it to them after the judgment, but the ancestors of the Sorrows sinned against him. They were denied the true tongue. 6 years. He attended the birth of my 3rd child. It was a hard birth. The river nearly carried my water to the Father, and my child's with it. Daniel knew the ways of New Canaan's medicine. He stepped in and saved both of our lives. After the birth, I asked Daniel if he would teach me what he knew of childbirth. He agreed, and so here I am. What would you say? We have dwelt in the Narrows since the end that came in fire. When the Father in the caves punished the world and made us forget the Holy Tongue. We have had good relations with the other tribes in the valley. At least before Salt Upon Wounds brought his Whitelegs here. We have Daniel to thank for our continued existence. His advice and help has kept the Whitelegs from overrunning us so far. I do not know how long even he can protect us, though. He is war chief of the Whitelegs, and the worst butcher of them all. The tribes he has crushed are many. The warriors he has slain, countless. Then I will look forward to our next speaking.
The dead
드디어
horses
만난
told me
다니엘.
details about the attack on your caravan. A stranger's sympathy might not count for much, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry. The sorrows will
조시와
mourn your friends
비슷하게도
too.
다니엘 또한
They mourn everyone,
대화에서 신앙심이
even the
느껴졌습니다.
Whitelegs. They have sensitive souls. Innocent, if there is such a thing. In spite of what's happened, I hope that Joshua and I can help you out of here. But to be frank, we need your help too. Well, I'll be. I was starting to lose hope we'd be able to get any of this, much less all of it. Tribals are smart, but, well, they're ignorant. Letting go of a taboo is difficult for them. So I knew it would have to be one of us. Turns out all it took was a Gentile, or, no offense. These supplies are a godsend. But if we're going to evacuate Zion without drawing more Whiteleg attention, I need you to go back into the valley. Specifically, I need you to scout out some locations for Whitelegs and try to recover a map of Grand Staircase, a wilderness area to the east. There's also the
다니엘은
matter of the
지도,
roads.
하얀 부족에
We're
대한
going to be heading out
정찰,
of the east side of the
빠져나갈
park.
경로의 안전
I'm
확보를
not sure the way it's
부탁합니다.
clear.
조슈아가 언급한 다니엘은 다른 것을 준비하고 있다는 것은 이 지역을 원주민들과 함께 빠져나가는 것이었습니다.
Since you've been poking around the valley, you might see more activity from the Whitelegs. One of the Sorrows hunters, Waking Cloud, has volunteered to help guide you through the valley. She has a special talent for staying out of sight. After this, it's just a matter of getting everyone out of here safe and sound. And hopefully you can head back to the Mojave without any more trouble.
Daniel said that I was to travel with you until you have completed your scouting. Is this pleasing to you? Certainly. We should make haste then.
그렇게 당신은 깨어나는 구름과 함께 다니엘의 부탁을 해결하러 가는데 이곳에서 조슈아의 만남은 예상 밖이었습니다.
Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation.
그는 성경의 시편 137편의 일부분을 읊어주는데 그 내용은 복수에 대한 내용이었습니다.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Do you know what it means? Given those two choices, yes. In the best of all possible worlds, they would just leave us in peace. But they won't. I don't enjoy killing, but when done righteously, it's just a
그는
joy.
정의를 실현시키기
like
위해서
any other.
피를 흘릴지언정
Practiced hands make
그것이
for
신의
short
뜻이다
work,
라고 생각합니다.
and the good Lord knows there's much to be done here. Happy are those who do the work of the Lord. Zion belongs to God and the people of God. It is a natural temple and monument to his glory. When our Lord entered the temple and found it polluted by money changers and beasts, did he ask them to leave? Did he cry? Did he simply walk away? No. He drove them out. It is one thing to forgive a slap
하얀
across
다리
my
부족은
cheek.
신성 모독을 했으니 그에 걸맞는 벌을 받아야 하며
No.
요슈아는 다가올 전쟁을
demands correction.
성전과도 같다고 생각하는 것 같습니다.
You're not so certain. Fair enough. We all have doubts. Blessed are they that have not seen, and yet have believed. But you can be a Thomas for now. Fight the white legs enough, and you'll see the truth. I just hope that by the time you understand, there will still be time to convince Daniel that we have to fight for Zion, to save it, and the sorrows. Welcome back. You are kind to offer, but no, there's nothing you can do. We don't use chems, but I learned long ago that I'm immune to their effects. It never stops burning. My skin. Every day I have to unwind the bandages and replace them with fresh ones. Exposing my body to the air is like living through it again. But it's better to be clean than comfortable. I was born in Ogden, what people came to call New Canaan. Things were more peaceful when I was growing up. When I was a young man, I went out into the world to do missionary work, as all New Canaanites do. I traveled along the Long 15 and followed 89 south into Arizona. Along the way, I met two men from a group called the Followers of the Apocalypse. Edward Sallow and Bill Calhoun. They came to teach the tribes. Calhoun was a good man. Edward was the one who got us into trouble down the road. No, not then. Back then he was just Edward. Smart man. Young, but we all were. We thought we could hike into the Grand Canyon and talk to Blackfoots. We did. And the Blackfoots were friendly enough at first. But eventually... I've thought back to that day so many times. I must have mistranslated. Something must have been mixed up, because the Blackfoots decided we weren't going to leave. The rest is history, assuming Edward hasn't changed it. This way lies the path to hell. Caesar needed me to translate. Translation became giving orders. Giving orders became leading in battle. Leading in battle became training. punishing, terrorizing. A series of small mistakes before a great fall. And I stayed in that darkness until after Hoover Dam. After I failed Caesar and he had me burned alive, thrown into the Grand Canyon. I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me. I fell down into that dark chasm. The flame burned on and on. The next morning, I woke up and crawled out of the northern edge of the Grand Canyon, that cursed place. It took me 3 months to reach New Canaan. It was as though the prodigal son had returned. They welcomed me like I had never left, never done anything to shame them. The fire that had kept me alive was love. Their love. God's love. I will never be able to repay the debt I owe to them. But I must try. Love the sinner, hate the sin. With Caesar, it's often very difficult to see through all of that sin to the person inside. I can say that we were both lucky that NCR supply lines and land routes north of Mojave Outpost were destroyed before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Something bad happened near Death Valley, at a place called the Divide. NCR couldn't cut across anymore, and it slowed down the reinforcements. Terrible storms ripped entire companies apart before they even got to Nevada soil. The aftermath of Hoover Dam could have been even worse for Caesar. I don't know for certain, and I don't think NCR knows either. Whatever happened at the Divide was too much for them to handle. Our Frumentari told us what they saw. Only fools and madmen would march into a place like that. All roads wind down to the same spot, the grave. They said all that's left there is a gaping wound cut into the earth, cursed and damned. No place for God-fearing folk.
그렇게 조슈아의 대화를 끝으로
God be with you.
당신은 다니엘의 요구사항을 수집하러 가는데 당신은 다니엘의 요구대로 기도를 확보했으며 해안다리의 부족을 정찰함과 동시에 처리해버렸으며 팔각지인 소나무만으로 가는 경로에는 상당한 양의 함정이 깔려 있었기에 깨어나는 구름과 함께 함정을 모조리 해체했습니다. 그리고 퇴각지에 거의 다다르자 야생 야오가이가 있었습니다. 이 강력한 야생동물들은 미리 퇴각지로 향하는 원주민들의 위협이 될 것이기에 당신은 모든 야오가이를 학살합니다. 이제 모든 준비가 끝났기에 당신은 다니엘에게 이 소식을 전해주게 되는데
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution.
이제 모든 결말은 당신의 선택에 의해 바뀌게 됩니다. 미리 하얀 다리의 부족원들은 슬픈 부족원들이 도피할 때 비습을 시도 도피를 방해할 것입니다. 그리고 그 과정에는 반드시 누군가는 희생을 하게 될 것입니다. 하지만 적대적인 부족과의 전쟁을 선택해도 슬픈 부족의 희생이 경반될 것이며 이들이 전쟁 후 어떤 변화를 일으킬지 또한 알 수 없었습니다. 그렇게 신중히 선택해야 했습니다. 슬픈 부족의 고향을 포기하게 하고 다른 거주지 에스칼란테 협곡으로의 도피를 도울 것인가 아니면 저 흉포한 원주민들을 말살시켜 우리 부족원들의 안전을 확보하는 것인가 선택은 당신의 몫이었습니다. 당신은 비교적 평화롭게 이 분쟁을 끝내려 마음을 먹었습니다. 만약 그들과의 전쟁에서 이겨도 후대의 하얀다리 부족원이 시저의 군단에 들어가거나 혹은 세력을 모아 다시 이들에게 위협이 될 수 있기에 다니엘을 도와 이곳에서 도피하는 것이 최선이라 판단했습니다. 그리고 이제 자신의 결정을 다니엘에게 전달해주는 당신.
I'm going to need your help, so say your piece. It may be. I hope it is.
다니엘은 당신의 결정에 감사하며 이제 도피
More
계획을
sorrows could die
말해줍니다.
in the escape than in Joshua's proposed attack. Even knowing that, it's a risk I have to take. With your help and Joshua's, even if we're attacked, we can defend the sorrows and escape. We'll be traveling at night in small groups across the valley. With luck, the Whitelegs won't know what's happened until the next morning. But if the Whitelegs realize what's happening, Joshua and I will need you to help us escape. Don't hold back. I promise you, the Whitelegs won't. Once our path is clear, I'll give you everything you need to get back to the Mojave. But the Pine Creek Tunnel must be collapsed behind us. It's the only way to delay the Whitelegs' pursuit long enough for us to get a head start. Good luck, and may God be with us.
시작된 부족원의 대규모 도피. 조슈아는 아직 모든 슬픈 부족민들이 쇠강로에 도착하지 못했다 하며 우리가 그들을 도와야 한다고 전합니다. 이에 망설일 이유가 없던 당신은 서둘러 아직 도피하지 못한 부족민들을 도와주러 가는데, 그러나 예상이라도 하듯 그들을 도와주러 가는 경로에는 하얀 다리 부족원들이 대기를 하고 있었습니다. 이에 당신은 조슈아와 함께 그들을 처리하며 나아가야 합니다. 슬픈 부족 부족원들은 도피를 하던 도중 제압을 당했는지 이곳에 포로로 있었습니다. 능숙하게 그들을 구한 당신, 하지만 이것이 끝이 아니었습니다. 하얀 다리 부족원들은 태각지로 향하는 다리를 점령했기에 그들을 처리해야 이 도피 작전이 성공할 수 있었습니다. 이제 부족민들과 태강로를 재확보했기에 당신만 도착하면 되는 상황. 하지만 태강로 또한 하얀 다리 부족원들이 있었기에 그들을 모두 처리해버릴 수밖에 없었습니다. 이때 당신을 발견하고 당신에게 접근하는 하얀 다리 부족의 대족자 상처의 소금을, 그러나 아무리 강력한 전사일지라도 사방의 괴물 앞에서 버틸 수 없었습니다.
Please, have you done everything you can for the sorrows? Are they all accounted for? You've done more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you. And may God protect you for all of your days. Bye.
이제 하얀 다리 부족의 추적을 늦추기 위해 당신은 남아서 터널을 폭파시키게 됩니다. 당신은 조슈아의 생각대로 저들에게 심판을 내리기로 했습니다. 저 흉포한 원주민들은 군단에 들어가기 위해 뉴 가나안을 폐허로 만들었으니 그에 상응하는 대가를 치를 것입니다. 저들이 저지른 과거의 악행과 앞으로 시저의 군단에 편입되어 모하비 황무지에도 위협이 될 가능성 역시 무시할 수 없기에 당신은 조슈아의 정의를 실현시키는 것이 옳다고 판단합니다. 그렇게 다니엘에게 도피가 아닌 전쟁을 선택했다고 전하는 당신.
No. Why? Why? Haven't you seen enough of what's going on here to see that the Sorrows don't need to butcher the Whitelegs for a piece of land? What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. And he needs more than you and the dead horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying. I've already explained to them that we're leaving. They've accepted it. What is Joshua going to tell them about being a warrior? What are you going to tell them about how to live with themselves after they got lost in the moment, killed someone who didn't deserve to die? Or does that not matter? Is that just an acceptable consequence if it means holding on to this valley? Maybe there is no place left in this world for mercy. But even if it tramples me into the dust, I will never accept it. And I will never condone it. Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others as I told them I would.
드디어 시작된
Thank you for
전쟁의
this.
당일.
I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion. You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into 3 Marys.
조슈아는 자신의 성전을 지지해준 당신에게 감사를 표하며 그들의 본거지로 향할 것이라 합니다. 목표는 그들의 대족장, 상처의 소금을.
Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination. God be with you.
이제 전쟁은 시작됐습니다. 그들에게 베풀 자비는 없었습니다. 오직 죽음만 있을 뿐. 이 피 튀기는 현장에서 당신은 그들과의 싸움에서 물러나지 않았습니다. 다른 누군가가 자신을 봤을 때 살인자, 학살자라고 부를지언정 당신은 오직 앞에 있는 원주민들에게 타격했습니다. 그것이 신의 뜻이니까. 이것은 학살이 아닌 죄인에게 내려지는 심판이니까.
This is taking too long. We can't let salt upon wounds escape. I'm going to find a way around. God willing, we will finish this together.
그렇게 조슈아와 헤어지고 당신은 다른 길을 찾아보기 시작합니다. 마침내 모든 하얀 다리 부족을 제압하고 조슈아는 포로를 처형 대족장에게 피해 복수를 실현하려 합니다.
And like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground, a temple to God's glory on earth. The only use for an animal in our temple is sacrifice. Kale wachene conserva o. You understand me, don't you? Don't you?
Outman. Kunaman mad. He killed all Whitelegs. You talk. You stop.
이 무지하고 야생적인 자는 자신의 눈엔 인간이라고 볼 수 없었습니다.
Baika Kur. You devil.
There. That's it. It's finished. When they hear what happened here, the Whitelegs will crawl back to their great Salt Lake. If Caesar doesn't kill them, they'll wither and die like the cursed mongrels they are. Come, let's find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon, and there is still much work to be done.
그러나 당신은 참회의 기회이자 두 번째 인생을 제공할 수도 있었습니다.
Him hear you. You talk.
Don't listen to this thing. His cries are those of a mad beast caught in a thicket. He gave no mercy to my family, and I will give none to his. He has a debt to pay for what he's done, and I've come to collect. And so he's chosen to cower in the water like a dumb animal. I want to take from them what they took from me, from my family. In this life, I want them to suffer. I want all of them to die in fear and pain. I want to have my revenge against him, against Caesar. I want to call it my own, to make my anger God's anger, to justify the things I've done. Sometimes I tell myself that these wildfires never stop burning, but I'm the one who starts them. Not God, not them. I can always see it in my mind, the warmth and the heat. It will always be a part of me. But not today. Go. Get out of here. Go back. Back to the Great Salt Lake. That's it. It's finished. Thank you for staying with me. I couldn't have done this on my own. Let's go find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon. And there is much to do.
그렇게 당신은 무슨 선택을 하든 이곳의 운명은 바뀌었으며 당신 눈앞엔 전리품 상자 하나와 탈출구가 있었습니다.